Hi, this is Dropletee plugin. It works by accumulating frames over time, so each frame depends on all the previous ones. Because of that, parameters are split into two categories: simulation and stylization. Stylization is essentially free to recalculate. Everything in that group applies on top of the cached result. Simulation, on the other hand, needs to be computed sequentially based on parameters in that group, which is where caching comes in. There are three caching modes to work with the simulation. The first one, it is live preview mode. Lets you quickly see how simulation parameters affects the result. You set the number of preview frames. The fewer frames, the faster the feedback. But this mode isn't suitable for final renders. It's limited in frame count, and every frame is recalculated from scratch each time. The second one is compute mode, the manual caching mode. Hit the compute button and it calculates the full sequence from the layer's endpoint, the start of the layer, to the current time. This mode works for final renders, but keep in mind that any frame without a cached result will show a placeholder, like here. And the last one is auto cache mode. Is the one I recommend most, but it fully blocks the current frame's render until the entire sequence up to that point is computed. So you will not see intermediate progress, but once it's done, you can scrub freely and everything plays back instantly. Let me switch here to the live mode to walk through the parameters. The simulation has several parameter groups. I won't go through every single one, that's for you to experiment with, but here the key ones. The first, it is wind, that shifts pixels from frame to frame in a given direction. The second one is color distortion parameters group, offsets color channels to create chromatic aberration trails. The next one, I think the most important one, the self-distortion, is what gives Dropletee its fluid look. It builds a normal map from the accumulated image and pushes pixel along it. You control the strength, the blur of the normal map, and the flow source. At 0%, it's driven by pixel luminance. At 100%, by the alpha channel. The next one is noise parameters group that works similarly to fractal noise in After Effects, but with the finer controls. Power reshapes the noise curve and you can adjust the swirl speed. Keep in mind that it's essentially a random displacement applied frame to frame, so at certain values the whole texture may appear to just rotate in circle. And the last one is temporal decay that fades pixel channels over time, controlling how quickly the trail dissolves. Then there is stylization. This is all post-cache processing. It doesn't affect the simulation itself, so you don't need to recalculate it every time. First one, it is surface controls, the blur and detail of the color map that the palette and lighting are based on. The easiest way to tweak this is to switch to the normal map view mode in the show option. The palette maps a color gradient onto the surface based on normals. You can adjust the formula, angle and intensity to change its look. There is a dedicated palette view mode for fine-tuning too. And the lighting parameters group adds light on the normal map. It also has border low and border high parameters which control the glow along the alpha channel edges, the trail boundary. Palette has a similar border parameter, by the way, but it only picks up the upper edge of the alpha. So that's it. We have a community around this plugin. If you come up with some ideas for new features or discover something creative with the effect, share it on Instagram or other social with the hashtag Dropletee. Bye bye.
Dropletee.